For today's class, you'll need to get a couple of pillows. Okay, so welcome to this morning's Yin Yoga class. Please pop on your own playlist and make sure that you've got 2 pillows that you can use throughout today's practice. So we're going to start by sitting with our legs crossed, sitting up nice and tall, lifting up through the chest. You can close the eyes, roll the shoulders up to the ears and down the back, taking a deep breath in. And again, a deep breath. Just allowing yourself a few moments to release any thoughts that you've come to today's practice with. Allowing for a clear and spacious mind. For the next few breaths, pause at the end of the inhale and at the end of the exhale. Observing the body as calmness washes over. Notice the heart rate starting to slow down. Stopping the mind from racing, from thinking about thoughts, from reflecting on the past or projecting into the future. For our first pose today, you have 2 options. Firstly, to stay with the legs crossed, or you can place the leg that's furthest away on top of the other, lifting up through the chest. If you find that the knee is raised, you can place one of your pillows underneath just to support it. Taking a deep breath in, lifting up through the chest, tilting the pelvis forward. On your exhale, we're going to slowly start to walk the hands out in front, collapsing the upper body over the hips. Continuing with the breath. Continuing with pausing at the end of the inhale and at the end of the exhale. As you exhale, allowing the upper body to collapse, surrendering to gravity. Allow the chin to drop to the chest, allowing the shoulders to roll forward. Starting to notice the connective tissues stretching through the hips. Acknowledging any pain or discomfort. Becoming aware of where the stretch is feeling sore, of where there's tension. As you start to become aware of the tension being held in the muscles, use the breath to help let it go. Allowing for a deeper stretch through the connective tissues. Starting to become aware of your surroundings, using your senses to ground you to this moment. And if the mind starts to wander, know that you can always draw your awareness back to your breath, lengthening the inhale, pausing, and then exhaling and pausing.
Holding this pose for another 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Slowly walking the hands towards the body, lifting up through the chest. You can roll the shoulders up to the ears and down the back, and then slowly straighten through the top leg or the leg in front, followed by the other. Gently bending and straightening through the ankles, through the knees, massaging the legs. Just releasing any tension. You can keep the knees bent and gently move them from side to side to release through the hips. And then back to center. We're then going to switch sides. So whichever leg you had on top, you now fold into place on the bottom, folding the other either in front or on top of. Again, taking a moment to get settled, making sure the sit bones are firm on the mat, rolling the shoulders up to the ears and down the back. You can place a pillow underneath the knee if you need to for some added support. Taking a deep breath in through the nose and out through the mouth. Again, in through the nose. And this time as you exhale, slowly walking the hands forward, collapsing the upper body over the hips. You can move the body left to right as you settle down. Taking a few breaths here, breathing in, pausing, and breathing out, and pausing, allowing the body to collapse on the out breath, chin to the chest. Starting to observe where you can feel the stretch. Observing the hips. Observing any tension that you're holding. Just noticing, observing. Often we can tense our muscles to protect our connective tissues, especially when we start to feel any discomfort. So scanning the muscles in and around the hip. For the next few breaths, trying to release that tension that's being held. Softening the calf, the thigh, the hamstring. Using the breath to help assist. Surrendering the mind to your surroundings, to this moment. Using your breath, allowing it to guide you. Allowing it to guide the body, relaxing a little bit deeper, folding a little bit further. Holding for another 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Slowly walking the hands back towards you, lifting up through the chest. Big shoulder roll up to the ears and down the back. Straightening through the top leg, followed by the bottom. Gently moving through the knees, through the ankles. Gently massaging, allowing the blood to circulate all the way down to the toes. Keeping the knees bent, you can gently move them from side to side. And then slowly extending your legs out in front, allowing the feet to fall forward.
You can gently move the knees up and down to release any tension that's being stored in the muscles. As you do this, softening the legs, allowing them to relax. If you're finding that your hamstrings are so tight that your pelvis is tilting back, you can place the pillows underneath the hips to elevate them. Placing the hands on the knees, we're going to lift up through the chest, take a deep breath in through the nose, out through the mouth. And again, on the out breath, slowly walking the hands either down the shins or beside the legs, allowing the upper body to curl forward. Keeping the arms extended out in front, but allowing them to soften. Taking a few deep breaths as the body starts to settle. Again, chin to the chest. This time becoming aware of the shoulders, the neck and the head. Releasing any tension, allowing the shoulder blades to separate. Using the breath to release any tension, to release anything that's being stored in the connective tissues or in the muscles. Scanning down the spine to the hips, becoming aware of the sit bones, the muscle that connects from them all the way down the back of the leg to the knee. Noticing what you can feel, noticing if any tension's being held, and just allowing the legs to soften. Allowing the thighs to soften, the calves, ankles, feet and toes. The longer we hold poses in Yin Yoga, the further the connective tissues stretch. So as you find yourself folding deeper, you can walk the hands out a little bit further, pulling the upper body over the legs. Taking this time to scan and search for any tension that we're holding. Allowing the upper body to surrender. Keeping the mind with you in the moment. Drawing its awareness back to the breath. Holding here for another 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Slowly walking the hands back towards you, lifting up through the chest, nice and slow. You can roll the shoulders again here, squeeze the shoulder blades together. You might like to drop the chin to the chest and roll the head from side to side. And then bending slowly through the knees and ankles, just releasing any tension. For our next pose, we'll be separating our feet, taking them out nice and wide. Keeping them just inside the frame of the body for where you can extend it to, so not creating too much tension within the muscles. We're going to soften the legs, so bending through the knees, just moving them up and down and allowing the feet to fall forward, not holding the toes back towards you, but allowing them to soften and rest naturally. lifting up through the chest. Deep breath in and out. Again, in through the nose. And then slowly folding forward, walking the hands out in front. Chin to the chest, upper body folding forward. Once again, if you're struggling to lean forward, you can place pillows underneath the sit bones to help elevate them, to tilt the body forward. Dropping the chin to the chest, walking the hands out in front, trying to drop the elbows down to the mat. Scanning the body, scanning the hips, noticing any tension in the muscles, observing where in the body that you can soften. On the out breath, releasing the tension, relaxing the body a little further towards the mat. Releasing tension from the front of the hips, not straining them to pull the upper body over, but just allowing gravity to pull the upper body towards the mat. Allowing the body to hold the pose while the upper body surrenders. Observing where you can feel the stretch. Observing if any emotions are rising to the surface. Any thoughts. And observing them without judgment, with acceptance. Holding this pose for another 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Slowly walking the hands back towards you, lifting up through the chest, rolling the shoulders up and down the back, bending through the knees, through the ankles. And then when you're ready, slowly drawing the soles of your feet together. Again, putting a pillow underneath the sit bones if you're struggling to hold the pose here. If you find that your back is bowing, lifting up, you can hold on to the shins, pressing the chest forward. Deep breath in through the nose and out through the mouth. And again, as you exhale, walking the hands out in front, dropping the elbows, allowing the legs to soften. Breathing into the belly. Noticing if the mind's starting to wander, if it's thinking about what else you have to do today, if it's thinking about what's coming next. Taking a moment here to draw it back into this moment. Using your senses, noticing shadows, light flickering across the eyes.
Noticing what sounds you can hear, if there's anything you can smell or taste. And then drawing the awareness back to the body, noticing what you can feel, what you can feel externally, the body's points of contact with the mat, your clothing against your skin, the temperature of the air that surrounds you. Noticing a breeze or a stillness, and then drawing that awareness inward, noticing what you can feel within the body, the breath in the lungs, the tension in the muscles, the connective tissues as they stretch. Taking in another couple of deep breaths, pausing at the end of the inhale and at the end of the exhale. Staying here for 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Slowly walking the hands back towards you, lifting up through the chest, rolling the shoulders up to the ears and down the back. Slowly bringing the knees together, bending and straightening through the ankles, through the legs as you straighten them out in front. Finding the center of the mat here, we're going to take the 2 pillows and place them underneath the upper back. So you've got 2 options depending on the height of your pillows. You can have them resting between the neck and the middle back, or you can have them resting from the upper back to the head, just depending on your neck and how it's feeling supported. So today I'm going to place them from my middle back up to my neck. Slowly uncurling the spine, laying back over the top of them. I'm going to allow my head to drop back onto the mat. I'm going to slowly straighten through my legs and take my arms out to the left and right side. Today my palms are going to face the ground as I'm wanting to ground today, connecting with the earth. Keeping me out of my head, drawing me back into this moment. As you lay back, taking a few deep breaths in through the nose and out through the mouth. Allowing the chest to soften, the legs to soften, the feet to fall naturally left and right. Observing the weight of the chest on the out breath, drawing your diaphragm down to your belly. Allowing the belly button to fall to the spine. Allowing the weight of the chest to relax. Observing the chest broadening through the collarbones. Taking the opportunity here to bring to mind anything that you're holding on to, anything that may no longer be serving purpose. bringing it to the front of your mind. It might be an emotion, it might be a situation, it could be your emotional reaction to a situation. For the next few breaths, we're going to breathe in through the nose and sigh out the mouth, releasing that tension, releasing what's no longer serving you. Breathing in and sighing out. Again. Continuing with this practice until you can feel it leaving the body. And then allowing the breath to return to normal. Observing your natural rhythm. Resting here for another 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Slowly rolling onto your side, using the opposite hand to remove the pillows and lie onto your back. Tucking the shoulder blades down the back, the chin to the chest. Taking a breath here as the body settles. You can tuck the tailbone, draw the belly button to the spine. You might notice that you're feeling lighter, calmer, more relaxed than when you started today's practice. Observing the feelings within the body. Slowly bending through the knees, walking the feet back onto the mat. We're going to draw our knees into our chest, placing our hands on the knees. Gently beginning to circle, releasing through the lower back. And then back in the opposite direction. And then drawing the knees back to center, gently turning the head from left to right. And then back to center. Rolling onto your side. Tucking the shoulder, allowing the head to rest on the mat. Taking a breath here as the head and the heart settle. And then when you're ready, taking your time, slowly coming back up to a seated position. Folding the legs in front, lifting up through the chest, resting the hands on the knees, tucking the chin slightly. We're going to use the next few breaths to raise our shoulders up to our ears. And as we exhale, we're going to allow them to drop, visualizing anything that we're holding on to still falling away, dropping off of our shoulders. Inhaling up
And exhale, dropping the shoulders. Again. One more time. Placing our hands together over our heart space. We're going to bring to mind 3 things that we're grateful for today. Allowing that feeling of gratitude to fill the chest, to fill the heart space. As you list the things, repeat them to yourself and imagine the gratitude swirling throughout the entire body. The feeling going all the way down to your toes, to your fingers, to the crown of the head. Sitting with this feeling, knowing at any point today you can come back to it. Thank you for joining me on the mat this morning. Namaste.